Greetings, my beautiful sorors. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Please bow your heads and join me in prayer. Our Father, most gracious and heavenly Father, God, we come to say thank you. We thank you for this day. We thank you for each and every opportunity that we have had. We thank you for each and every author that's being presented on today. We thank you for their readers. We thank you for the wisdom and knowledge that has been given to them. God, we ask you that you continue to bless them abundantly, continue to order their steps, and continue to answer the desires of their heart. God, please allow us to enjoy this day. Let it be filled of love, joy, peace, and happiness. God, again, we thank you for everything you have done for us. In Jesus' precious name I pray. Amen.
We dedicate the Eastern Region stop of the Delta Authors on Tour to our beloved 27th National President, Connecticut's favorite daughter, Cheryl A. Hickman.
Hello, I'm Babs Rose-Ivy, a member of the New Haven Alumni chapter of Delta Sigma Theta. Welcome to the Delta's Authors on Tour. It is my great joy to bring you a stellar lineup of Delta authors today. So grab your books, a refreshing beverage, and prepare for a little Love Babs Love Talk, the Love Literature edition. But first things first, we must always take care of Delta's business. Let us hear greetings from the regional leadership team of Delta Sigma Theta, the co-chairs of the National Arts and Letters Commission, and the New Haven Alumni Chapter.
Greetings to my sorors and guests, and welcome to the 2022 Delta Authors on Tour, hosted by the award-winning New Haven Alumni Chapter under the phenomenal leadership of Soror Paula Irving, right here in the dynamic and historic Eastern Region. I'm Rosie Allen Herring, your Eastern Regional Director. Sorors and guests, thank you for joining us for this virtual showcase where we will highlight the works of 9 phenomenal authors. As we do all things in Delta, we honor our leadership and that of our national president and chair of our board of directors, Soror Elsie Cook Holmes, and the entire National Executive Board, including our Arts and Letters co-chairs, Sorors Kanara Price from the East, as well as Soror Marsha Butler Holt. We also honor our Eastern Regional leadership in that of our Connecticut State Coordinator, Soror Veronica DeLandro, and our facilitator, Soror Ngozi Okoli, as well as our Eastern Region Arts and Letters Committee under the leadership of sorors Monique Fortuné and Melanie Oram. The award-winning sorors, the 131 award-winning sorors of the New Haven Alumni Chapter, Small Chapter of the Year, 2 times in a row, and now a medium-sized chapter with the co-chair and chair soror Sarisa Newsom and soror Janice Williams, who have brought us a phenomenal showcase today. We thank you for all that you do and also for bringing 9 phenomenal authors where we can see their works come to life. Thank you for all that you do as we think about the theme for today, planted on the foundation of greatness. We know that the work of Delta will continue and you will continue to meet this moment. Thank you to the New Haven Alumni Chapter for your phenomenal works. We look forward to a great time. Please enjoy the program. Be well.
Greetings, my dynamic and historic Eastern Region sorors. Thank you all so much for joining us for Delta Authors on Tour. These 9 authors are truly talented, and their work certainly embodies this year's theme, planted on the foundation of greatness. Sorors, I want to take the time to honor and thank the chair, Sarisa Newsom, co-chair Janice Williams, and the 131 members of the back-to-back Eastern Region Small Chapter of the Year, New Haven Alumni Chapter, for all of your work in curating this event. Sorors, as an educator, I cannot stress the importance and value of reading at all stages of life. We are forever students, and therefore we never stop learning. So sorors, after this program, if there's a book that piques your interest, even just a little bit, go on and get it. And if you know of a book that maybe a loved one would like, get it for them too. I love you, my sorors, and have a great time.
Greetings to the sorors of the dynamic and historic Eastern Region, the birthplace of our beloved sisterhood. I'm Marcia Butler Holt, National Co-Chair of Arts and Letters Commission. A special thank you to Regional Director Rosie Allen Herron, Regional Representative Nadaj DeBrose, and to the New Haven Alumni Chapter for representing your region during this 7th season of Delta Authors on Tour. You know, art binds us together, inspires reflection, generates capital, and strengthens communities. And the literary art form of Delta Authors on Tour provides opportunities for Deltas across the country to support our very own. I get excited about Delta Authors on Tour, and I'm excited and thankful for each of you who work tirelessly to bring this opportunity to life. You've done an amazing job. Welcome, my sorors, and let us stand planted on the foundation of greatness. Let the reading begin.
Hello, sorors of the dynamic and historic Eastern Region where I reside. I'm Kenara Price, and I'm excited to bring you greetings as one of the co-chairs of the National Arts and Letters Commission. Thank you to the New Haven Alumni Chapter for hosting this magnificent event of Delta Authors on Tour. You know, this gives us all an opportunity to enrich our lives by supporting the literary works of our Delta authors. Books allow us to experience so many things: the unknowns, the highs, the lows, fantasies, and realities. So Sisters of the East, under the leadership and amazing support of our Regional Director, Rosie Allen Herring, and Regional Representative, Nadej DeBrose, let's follow the theme of this program. Let's stay planted in the foundation of greatness and buy more books. Enjoy the program.
Greetings. My name is Paula Irvin, and I am the president of the New Haven Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. It is with great honor to bring you greetings on behalf of the notable members of the New Haven Alumni Chapter. We are so thrilled to host this 4th stop of Delta Authors on Tour here in a dynamic and historic Eastern Region. Our committee has worked diligently to provide an experience for you like none other from the beautiful city of New Haven, Connecticut. During this stop, you have an incredible opportunity to engage with 9 authors from various parts of the country as they share their work with us. We invite you to plant it on a foundation of greatness. Welcome to New Haven.
Welcome to the Elm City. My name is Sarisa Newsom. I am the chair of the Arts and Letters Committee of the New Haven Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. It is my distinct honor to serve as the Dynamic and Historic Eastern Region's host chapter liaison for the 2022 edition of Delta Authors on Tour.
And I am Janice Williams, co-chair of the Arts and Letters Committee of the New Haven Alumnae chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated.
Just as our opening presentation demonstrated how the city of New Haven was birthed from a 9-square grid and planted on the foundation of greatness, our tour stop will showcase the work of 9 fundamentally great Delta authors.
We have worked tirelessly to prepare you to meet each of the authors you have been hearing about and reading the works of over the past several weeks. Many of you have ordered and read your books in anticipation of this day. But if you have not already done so, there is no need to be disappointed. You have until 11:59 p.m. tonight to order your autographed copies. We can't thank you enough for supporting these dynamic and talented Delta authors. And now, it's time for this literary adventure to begin.
Now, for the moment you've been waiting for, it's time to talk to the authors. Today, you'll hear from 9 Delta authors, some of them first-timers, and some of them are best-selling and internationally renowned. First up, we'll hear from 2 Delta authors who have focused their writing on children. Sora Erica G. Bradley is the author of Don't Start Dinner Without Us and a member of the New Haven Alumni chapter, who I just adore. Sora Bradley, what was the inspiration for this book?
My daughter Zaria was my primary motivation for writing the book. When she was little, we would teach her the alphabet and how to read by helping her identify the items on my grocery list in the produce section of the grocery store. When she found an item, we would make a big deal about it. That time evolved into trying different vegetables that she identified and then eventually growing our own in a small garden in the backyard. It was a whole family activity. I want to help children understand that vegetables are not only good for them, but the why behind each variety. It's fun to try new things, expand your palate, and vegetables are a critical part of their health. I offer a fun way to introduce vegetables to their children while bonding through books for the parents reading to their little ones. Also, access to good, healthy, affordable food should be available to all children, not just those with needs. Growing our food as a family has so many benefits. It is not only fun and nutritious, but it's also educational and affordable too. A win-win. Black female authors matter because our voices are powerful, passionate, and sincere. We're the only ones that can tell our stories the way it needs to be told. Our words must be captured, memorialized, and made available for our children to see themselves in the stories that affect their lives. It's a form of love for our people. It is also essential that the illustrations show bright, beautiful colors that will excite the minds of our beautiful Black children. Black female authors matter. Representation matters.
Thank you, Sora Bradley. Now, Sarah Marshall Campbell is the author of You're Here for the Purpose, Positive Self-Talk for Black Children. Sora Campbell, what are a few key takeaways for readers of your book?
Thank you, Sora, for that question. When I had my first daughter, I found myself saying affirmations to her all the time. I was also intentional about putting images in front of her that depicted Black children as not only strong and intelligent, but also portrayed them as tender and kind. I found that none of my daughter's books married these two concepts together, so I decided to write the kind of book I wanted to read with my daughter. At first, practicing positive self-talk out loud may feel silly, but to change the silent thoughts in your head, you must first change the words that come out of your mouth. So start practicing today. Believing that boldness can come from little children, it takes bravery and boldness to stand for what is right. That bravery can come in different sizes and different ages, big or small. When we think of revolution, we think of a rebellion using force and protest. But what about the role of authors? I believe that Black female authors are revolutionaries. Black women, Maya Angelou, Alice Walker, Toni Morrison, all use literature to tell Black stories that shake the core of the human spirit, advance societies, and transform humanity through words. Now that is revolution. You're here for a purpose. I know it's true. The world would be an incomplete puzzle without you. Your brown skin and curly hair are one of a kind, perfectly crafted, a beautiful design. God whispered your name long before you came. The world without you would not be the same. To set in motion the path you want to walk, remember, start each day with positive self-talk. Through playful, powerful rhymes and vivid illustrations, You're Here for a Purpose inspires Black children to be positive, confident, and embrace their uniqueness. The book affirms each child's role in the world and holds them accountable for the energy they bring each day. The book also shows that as children grow, explore, and learn, they co-create with God a divine plan that uses their talents, passions, and gifts. From early on, children are looking to discover their life purpose. You're Here for a Purpose introduces the concept of shaping your purpose by building a strong self-system, which is how you see and feel about yourself. By using affirmative words in their daily lives, children can learn to uplift themselves and develop a thriving self-system.
Thank you, Sora Campbell, and a special shout out to her chapter sorors of North Manhattan Alumnae chapter. Now, if you're interested in either of these books, you still have time to make a purchase until 11:59 tonight. Just go to www.nhacdst.org. The Eastern Region stop has one lone poet on this part of the tour, and Sora Yolanda Taylor, author of Living with Texture, Poems Woven from Love, is that poet. She is a member of the Richmond Alumnae chapter, and she has graciously agreed to read for us. Take it away, Sora Taylor.
Written from my perspective and included in Living with Texture is the poem Dripping in Melanin, which was written in 2019 when the crowns worn by Miss America, Miss Teen USA, Miss World, and Miss Universe were all worn on the crowns of Black women. Hidden and long denied, but no more. Ignored and shoved aside, but no more. The beauty of our skin, infinite possibilities of our hair, elegance of our demeanor, strength of our stride, power of our minds, no longer denied or ignored. We are world class, and the world is dripping in melanin. Walls of discrimination crumbling. 5 crowns, 5 titles, refuting claims of Black is not beautiful, Blacks are not intelligent, Blacks are not worthy. A crowned act of Black girl magic personified, celebrating beauty, power, resilience. More than a movement, Black women recognized for what we have done, what we are doing, and what we can do. The world is dripping in melanin. Always has, always will, because Black is required for all other colors to have depth and variation of hue. In other words, Ubuntu reverse. If there were no us, there would be no you. The world is dripping in melanin. Thank you.
Thank you for that beautiful poem, Sora Taylor. These next 3 Sora authors want to help you help yourself. Whether you're trying to figure out how to pay for college, restore some balance to your busy life, or strengthen your spiritual muscles, Sora's Jessica Brown, Trina Pitts-Calfani, and Marion Regina Mullings have something just for you. Sora Brown, tell us what inspired you to write your book.
What motivated me to write my books is that I wanted to ensure students and families made the best informed decisions on financing a post-secondary education. Additionally, for my children's book, I wanted young children to understand that they can achieve their educational endeavors and that their future is so bright. Takeaways from both of my books would be that, yes, college is possible, even when you're broke, and it's never too early to begin to think about college. I am blessed and proud to be a Black author. I think it is so important that we continue to write books that empower children and students who look like us to reach their dreams. Thank you, Sora, for the opportunity.
Thank you, Sora Brown, who hails from the Federal City Alumnae chapter. Sora Pitts-Kalfani, what are some of the takeaways for readers of your book?
Greetings, and thank you, Sora, for that question and introduction. My book, Slow Down by Choice or Lay Down by Force, 7 Keys to Restore Holistic Balance in Your Life, was birthed during the 2020 quarantine when we were all forced to pause and slow down. And so I took that opportunity to do something I've always wanted to do, which was to write my first book on holistic practices that I had used in my own personal life and had witnessed in others over the years as a student, teacher, and practitioner of alternative holistic health. My intention for the reader was that I wanted them to learn tips and tools that I highlight in the book on ways to incorporate more self-care and mindfulness in their everyday lives. I also wanted to remind them that based on many of our fast-paced lifestyles that we live today, to choose to pause and slow down during periods of our life and to return back to some basic tried and true principles and practices that have been used since the beginning of time is essential for a healthier, happier, and more balanced life. Due to the challenging times that we live in, I believe it's imperative more than ever that we continue as Black female authors to publish writings that speak to our diverse cultures and experiences and backgrounds, particularly in the self-help genre. As the matriarchs and first teachers of our families, all cultural and historical backgrounds and experiences should continue to be written and published. One author that I truly admire, who is also a poet, is the late great Dr. Maya Angelou, who stated that courage is doing the things you know must be done before you are forced to. So that sums up the purpose and title of my book, and if the reader can take away any tips or tools that can create more balance in their life, then my intention was well served.
Thank you, Sora Pitts-Kalfani of the Harrisburg Alumnae chapter. What a wonderful set of ideas. Last, but certainly not least, I welcome New Haven Alumni's own Marion Regina Mullings. Sora Mullings, talk to us about why the voices of Black female authors still matter.
The journey of my book started in 2016 after the passing of my husband, Kenny. I had actually written prayers for several books, but never published them. As I watched the suffering in the world in 2020 from the pandemic, I was determined to get my book published. I knew in my heart that this time I would get it done. There is power in the words we choose to speak. People needed to have hope, and for me, prayer, declaration is the answer. There is a reason why you're here, and there's a destiny for your life. How will you live in victory every day, no matter what your circumstances are? What will you declare, speak, your life to be? Do you want to heal from your hurt? What are you willing to do to make that happen? Your best day is right in front of you. Are you ready to take hold of the promises that are created for you? It is critical because we give hope in our stories and bring light to our struggles as only we can tell it. We have risen from the ashes that tried to destroy us and came out stronger, wiser, brilliant, and more compassionate than ever. We are leaders on many platforms who have had to work twice as hard to be acknowledged for our contributions and still don't give up. We recognize that we have to keep paving the way for our young sisters and brothers coming behind us.
Thank you, Soros. Now remember, you'll get an opportunity to chat with these authors after this program, so stick around and don't forget to buy your books.
Before I was ever planted on a foundation of greatness, I was fearfully and wonderfully made in the image of it. Inferiority is not in my bloodline. Handcrafted by God and took astute notes in the presence of his son. You can see it in my tan lines. A young Black king, relegated to a front porch 'cause Grandma Ernestine could hear the distinct sound of the street sharpening its guillotine. Planted and birthed from a womb that was only 15, both young and anointed like David, coupled with the strength of a Philistine. Before I was ever planted on a foundation of greatness, I was fearfully and wonderfully made in the image of it. Inferiority is not in my bloodline. My roots run distinctively deep, so in the event my flesh is overtaken by assassination, my seeds, watered by their father's salivation, will sprout forth and echo the same aforementioned proclamation. Oh, how I'm just like my daddy. Bear witness, you know my personal faculties that facilitate the furtherance of artistic impulse deserve felicitation. A minstrel's utilization of fancy diction to paint a depiction of how everything planted and great about me deserves an applause. Pause. Hold the applause. The creation dare not boast in the face of my creator. Hope dealer, emancipator, dividing my truth from their lies, the divine segregator. Before I was ever planted on a foundation of greatness, I was fearfully and wonderfully made in the image of it. Inferiority is not in my bloodline. Handcrafted by God and took astute notes in the presence of his son. You can see it in my tan lines.
Romance novels are the heartbeat of the book publishing industry, and we're fortunate to have 3 Delta authors who know the genre well. Let us welcome Soror's Lisa Angeletti, Brenda Jackson, and Charmaine Louise Shelton to the stage. Sorors, tell us about what inspired you to write romance.
Thank you for that introduction, Soror. I've always made a living as a writer, but it wasn't until my mom was suddenly diagnosed with dementia that I made the decision to finally finish my first novel and put it out into the world. Her illness gave me the sense of urgency I think I needed to dust my manuscript off and finish what I started. My books are meant to be a romantic escape for readers. The only thing I want is for my stories to serve as a distraction from the tough realities we all face on a daily basis. Black women continue to be one of the largest demographics of book readers in the United States, and I believe it's so important that creators and publishers reflect the makeup of their readership. Our stories, and especially who tells those stories, matters.
Thank you, Sora, for your questions. What motivated me to write this book, Follow Your Heart? It's my belief that Black love does exist. Also, my belief that there are times when you may doubt your ability to find your true and everlasting love. My books give you encouragement that there is someone out there for everyone. What are my 2 takeaways from the book? My first takeaway is the belief that everyone has a soulmate. And my second takeaway is that your heart decides who you should love and not any individual. And that you should follow your heart. And yes, I believe that authors matter. I believe in the power of the pen. Our thoughts, ideas, and imaginations are to be shared for knowledge, history, and entertainment. An author's words will always matter. Thank you.
Greetings, and thank you for that introduction and question, Sora Rolls Ivy. The pandemic hit, and people needed a distraction. For me, a book has served that purpose. As an avid reader, I enjoy all genres, with my favorite being billionaire romance. I wrote my first novel, Fulfill My Desires, as a sexy fantasy and as the start of my 2 interconnecting series to allow readers to delve into a steamy romance world and not focus on real-world issues, if only for the time they have to indulge themselves. Once readers finish, they should be able to visualize themselves on that private jet flying to Mauritius for a month with their sexy lover. Take a break from the mundane with a recollection of a passionate love scene, or of dancing at a gala in a fabulous designer gown and a glittering suite of jewels. As a Black female author, I want to give women a different perspective, one that encompasses glitz, glamour, and steam in romance, not typically inclusive of Black women by other authors. Live our fantasies without judgment. None. So, if you enjoy sexy fantasies that immerse you in billionaire romance with gorgeous, possessive males and beautiful, independent females that keep you on the edge, then come along for their racy rides.
Wasn't that amazing? We hope you enjoyed hearing from all these Delta authors and are eager to ask them your own questions. Remember, you still have time to purchase a book. Check out the link on your screen. It will also be placed in the chat. Now, grab a cup of tea or wine, we don't judge, and let's head over to the Zoom link that just appeared on your screen for our live authors chat.